just going to slide this staging out of the way. I think I can be down on the ground level now. And just quickly show you guys what we're making. I've got an order for another one of these. So this one's sold. And this is kind of the platter piece here. And basically I cut that. It's kind of started out like this. And I've got another one here. But that's going to be what goes on there. And I just put some pieces across here. Just a lot of character. For those of you that are chainsaw carving, don't discount like a rotten stump. This had an ant farm in it. And what are you going to do with a piece of rotten wood like that? Dream something up. Put that thing to use. And anyways, we're not going to talk all day. I'm going to get the staging out of the way and we're going to start carving again.
Got Baby Kisses.
Hey, Baby Kisses.
Runic Workshop.
Runic, welcome, buddy.
Cat's Piece.
Cat's Piece, all right.
Rhinestone Suzanne.
Hey, Suzanne.
Storm Chaser Hannah.
Hi, Hannah.
Belinda S.
Hey, Belinda.
I know I saw Michael in there too.
Right on.
Ray and Sandy.
Ray he's been pumping out the videos lately. Check out Ray's Woodworking. Ray and Sandy's Woodworking, awesome channel.
Joshua Rose.
Welcome.
Dwayne from Missouri. Bear and the Boss Lady. Billy Shoemate.
Bear's in there?
Yep.
All right, check out Bear and the Boss Lady.
Lori Keller. Colleen Melton.
Keller, Mom, I love you. Thanks for being in there. Quickly, we're going to show you guys. We're doing a member giveaway, and this is the carving here we're going to be giving away. That's going to be 1 week from today. Next Wednesday's live stream, and somebody's going to be getting that. One of our channel members. If you want to be a channel member, it's $3.99 a month, and this is a piece of cottonwood bark that Bear and the Boss Lady gave me. Bear from Bear and the Boss Lady. Eastern cottonwood bark, but one of my hand carvings done with chisels and gouges. And again, that's going to be given away live a week from today on the live stream.
So Colleen, if it's for channel members, so you can either go to our page to become a channel member. It's $3.99. There's a way to do it too, right from this chat. I don't know exactly how to do it that way. Billy Munko's here.
Hey, Billy. And we're gonna put everybody's name on a plain white piece of paper and tack it to a big butt end of a stump. And then I'm gonna throw a knife at it and see who gets what piece of paper gets clipped first. So I think it'll be a fun, fair way to do it. Should be interesting. And
Baby Kisses gifted a membership, and it looks like Canadian John got it.
thank you, Baby Kisses.
Thanks, Baby Kisses.
Yeah, we're actually gonna choose 2 people in case somebody doesn't want it sent to them, or if Baby Kisses wins, she can either get it sent to her or she can pick whoever she wants for us to send it to, but somebody's gonna get it.
I probably missed a bunch of people. I know I saw Dad in there.
That carving still has to get finished. It's gonna get shined up and some black highlights. It's gonna be a cool carving, I think. So.
Old Path.
Welcome in, Old Path. Shalom.
Baby Kisses is so nice.
Gotta hydrate just a little. Some water on here.
Yeah, your bear is holding it.
Awesome.
Billy Shoemate's in there. He was in there before. I don't think I called him out.
Hey, Billy.
And Johnny Farrell. I don't think I got Matthew last time. Whew.
Right on. Hey, Matthew.
Electric Whittler.
Electric. One of our earliest supporters since we've been live streaming. Awesome guy. Good channel to check out. The Electric Whittler. Talented Dremel carver. Jump over and subscribe to his channel.
Talk about the giveaway while you're stocked. Oh, Grumpy's laid back carvings is in there.
Right on. Always a good day when Tim's in there. Hey, Grumpy. Check out Grumpy's channel. He's a lathe turner, by and large, I guess, amongst other things. But this is a hand carving we're doing, or that I did with chisels and gouges. This is being given away a week from today. So this coming Wednesday coming up, we'll be here at 2 o'clock. And before the live stream's over, one of our channel members is going to get this sent to them free of charge. And memberships on our channel are $3.99 a month. Even if you sign up for a month, it's a pretty good deal. It's a pretty good chance. I think we have somewhere around 20 members, so you got a pretty good chance. And it's going to be a fair drawing. Electric Whittler inspired it. I'm not going to go into exactly how he inspired it, but go check out his channel and you'll see. But we're going to get a big stump end, butt end of a stump. We're going to put everybody's name on a white piece of paper. We're going to tack it to the stump. And Casey's actually going to do it, so I don't see who's where. And then I'm going to stand back and throw a knife at it and see which piece of paper we hit. So that's how we're going to give it away. Should be fun, should be interesting. And I'm just going to suck down some water, man. It's hot out here today.
Runic says he likes your hat, loves your hat. Michael S. is back. Electric Whittler says, wait, what? Electric Whittler says, wait, what?
Wait, what?
I think I don't know, maybe about, oh, he says he gets it now. Never mind. False alarm.
Alright, more noise. That's what everybody wants. Chainsaw's thirsty.
Blue raspberry, Billy Munko says.
Say it again?
Blue raspberry. Guess who said it? Billy
You said
Munko.
Billy Munko. Yep. If Billy runs the Husqvarna brand gas oil mixture, he knows exactly what that's about. Billy Munko's a talented chainsaw carver himself. I think he has an Instagram. Unfortunately, no YouTube channel, but if anybody wants to post Billy's Instagram up there, go check out Billy. Awesome supporter of our channel.
Baby Kisses says man glitter shirt.
Say it again.
Mushroom.
Mushroom.
Baby Kisses gave us $5.
Thank you, Baby Kisses.
Thanks, Baby Kisses.
Appreciate you. All right. So the bear's roughed out. Guess we're moving on and carving a mushroom.
We appreciate you, Baby Kisses. Sounds like she's got a nice canopy to carve under now.
Baby Kisses does?
Yep.
It's the best way to do it. You gotta find that shade. At least in the summer months.
Got Curtis here. Says, I wish I could do that. It's nice work.
What are you doing on likes today?
249 so far.
Wow, thank you guys. We appreciate it.
Got Joshua Rose. Got Carlos watching from the UK. Says, you are the best. Oh, he can't hear you. I'll tell him next time, Carlos. Scott Woodchucker.
Hey, Chucker.
Danny, welcome. We have Curtis from Louisiana and Carlos from the UK.
Welcome, guys. Appreciate you all being here. Don't forget to like the live stream.
Got Edward. Welcome. Got the Shoop's workshop, wood shop actually. Lori Keller says, nice mushroom.
Lori Keller?
Yep.
Thank you.
See, got Paula Farley. Got Adele. Let's see.
Welcome everybody. Thank you so much for being here.
Heidi Shoop.
Hey Heidi. How you doing on time?
It is 3:44.
Oh goodness. I'm gonna have to go get another piece of wood out of the pile. I don't know what we're gonna carve next.
She's gonna call them Jay. Says hello.
Hey Jay.
Matt Carr says mushroom with the thumbs up.
Matt's in there?
Yep.
Alright. Good day when Matt Carb shows up.
Paula says you need a pair of steel toe sandals.
Yeah.
Baby, go ahead.
I was gonna shout out Matt Carb's channel. He's a supporter of our channel, so we like to shout out Matt. He's from New Zealand, and he has a carving channel that features a lot of Dremel carving, rotary carving kind of stuff, a lot of instructional if you're trying to learn how to. Check out Matt Carbs.
Michael says awesome. CD777.
Thank you, Michael.
And Baby Kisses says baby bear. Is that what you're gonna carve next?
Maybe try something maybe a little different, something bear on all fours, and maybe a sitting bear, or park bear, overalls bear, something like that. Something that we can throw in inventory and stuff. But I am gonna grab a sip of water. It's pretty hot. I'm sweating. So
The Shoops Workshop says hello 777.
hey, Shoops.
Says,
Appreciate you being in here with us.
Jane says hi. We're gonna make you moderator.
We did a long form video of this carving that dropped Sunday morning. Check out, I think it's gonna hit at like 6 o'clock in the morning. But cool video if you're a chainsaw carver or just interested. We take this guy on a voyage on the trailer up into the mountains, and we have a cookout, but it shows the whole carving process. And it also shows how to make this top if anybody's interested in learning how this is built. So it should drop Sunday morning.
Woodchucker says looks good. CD. Baby Kisses asked, did you sell your bears outside under the overhang?
Which ones? Outside under the overhang. I'm not sure which ones you're talking about, Baby Kisses. But we have a lot of carvings leaving this time of year.
Maybe she means the ones that were in front of the building last time.
Probably we did. This 6-footer, we're gonna walk. There's actually it's a 6 or 7 foot black bear over there, and we're gonna walk by him when we go get our next piece of wood. But we'll show him to you. And he's leaving Friday, so most of these cards. This one here is leaving Saturday, so they're definitely leaving.
Yeah, Baby Kisses said that's what she meant. The ones that were lined up last time.
Yep. We're doing a giveaway a week from today, next Wednesday. We start our live stream at 2 o'clock, and at some point during the live stream, we're going to have a members where this hand carving. I carved this out of cottonwood bark. And it's not completely done yet. It's still got to get, it's going to get like a little sheen or a little shine, kind of a finish. and some black highlights. But we're going to be shipping that to one of the members of our channel. And memberships are $3.99 a month if you want to join. And subscribing to the channel is free. So if you want to subscribe to the channel, there's no cost there. But the giveaway is for memberships. On this mushroom, and then we'll go grab another piece of wood.
Okay.
Did you see that? Start getting 3 pieces of wood, I guess, on the mushrooms.
I think you've been doing like the 5-foot bears and it doesn't take you as long.
Maybe next week we're going to try another big bear, like an 8-footer or something, but we'll see.
Baby Kisses just gifted another membership.
Thank you, Baby
like
Kisses.
The Shoop's wood shop got it.
She's a woodchucker company?
No, the Shoop's wood shop.
Oh, gotcha. Very cool. Baby Kisses is such a huge supporter of our channel in so many ways. She literally watches our videos. She's always here. So she doesn't like it when we shout out her channel, but she does have a channel. And she's a talented wood carver. So check out Baby Kisses' channel.
I just remember she said she's working on an 8-inch mushroom.
All right. That sounds pretty cool.
Hopefully we get to see that when it's finished.
guess we went over to get a piece of wood. I might fire up the tractor. I don't know if we're going to need it or not.
Okay.
But, Friday, baby kisses. Some of Casey's carvings. A lot of people don't know that Casey carves too. Casey's my wife, the camera girl. Some of her cute little bears.
There it goes. What are you carving?
I think it's going to be a bear on all fours.
Oh, okay.
Small bear on all fours. And I'm just going to grab the tractor. You could probably hang here.
Okay, sounds good. Takes me for just the carving, like the chainsaw carving part of it, I'm gonna say like a couple hours. And then you gotta burn and finish it and all that. Thanks, baby kisses. says Jane. Hi, Plywood. Plywood's here.
Hey, Plywood, welcome in, buddy. Awesome member of our channel.
You should show him the giveaway.
Yeah,
piece.
show him. It's going to be a week from today, Plywood.
Member giveaway, Plywood. This is
I think
the piece.
Plywood, does he still have 2 memberships?
As far as I know, yeah. Oh, it's looking dark. I don't know if you can see it really good. Sun's behind the camera, that's why. Billy Munko said that he's jealous of your log pile.
It's getting low. I got to get another load in soon.
Jane, we get them trucked in by the logging truckload. We have a local log guy. Do you want to move into the shade?
Say it again?
Do you want to move into the shade, like where your mushroom was?
Oh, what time is it?
It's 4:27.
Yeah, what the heck? Why not?
I can't see my
Probably
phone screen.
Alright.
Jansen is here.
Jansen's in there?
Sure is.
Alright, man. It's an awesome day when Jansen shows up. Check out Jay Steele's Adventure and Variety. I've always had like a treasure hunter kind of a personality about me. I'm very intrigued by it, but I'm kind of like an idiot treasure hunter. Jansen is the real deal. Check him out. He's always pulling something cool out of the ground. And Jay Steele's Adventure and Variety.
Sanchez, she loves the mushroom.
Thank you.
Who else? Oh, I can't remember. It is Jane? No, it was Heidi. Asked how long it took you to do Bigfoot.
I did them all on the live stream, so you could actually go back and look at it, but as soon as the season starts to slow down a little bit, I'm going to be finishing him up. I'm kind of excited about that. We've had a lot of interest in him, a lot of people interested, but we just got caught off guard by the busy season and trying to keep up with the summer crowd. Bigfoot's taking a bit of a back seat, but I do think when we finish him, he may sell. There's a lot of people biting, I guess, so.
We got Beating Crazy Custom Creations. I don't think I shouted them out yet.
All right, we appreciate you being here.
Says that Bigfoot is cool.
Thank you.
Matthew says your bear looks like it's doing yoga.
It's doing yoga. That's what we call the heads up, butts up bear. And that's a Creation Dust original design. I don't think you'll see that anywhere else. And I will say it is always the women that are interested. They always purchase those things. I don't know what it is, but
Bear says Bigfoot has big kissy lips.
kissy lips.
Yep. Got Norm Hughes.
You might better be careful, Bear. I think he could be sweet on you. What'd you say?
Norm Hughes.
Norm Hughes, welcome.
Bear says you better be careful.
What's up?
Said Bear said he better be careful.
I think Bear could probably whip him with his one hand tied behind his back. Bear's a tough dude. Check out Bear and the Boss Lady. He's got an awesome channel. He does live streams all the time. Funny guy to watch, entertaining. He's carving some really fancy looking stuff. So I'm gonna grab my face mask and we'll make some more noise.
Okay. It is 4:30.
Any chance that once I get going, maybe you could put them on the stand and go find my other mask?
Okay. Oh, we got 5 till. So I don't know if you want to talk about the giveaway one more time and then do the verse and call
Sure.
her good.
Yeah, this sounds good.
The Electric Whittler just did his 6-month membership anniversary thing.
Right on, Electric. Thank you so much. He's one of our oldest channel members. Him and Michael S. and Bear and the Boss Lady. I think we're the very first people to become members of our channel. So
Lori Keller.
Lori Keller, we appreciate all of you.
Canadian John is here. Baby Kisses says, little fat belly.
Little fat belly.
Little fat belly. Billy Shoemate says, looks great, Josh.
Thank you, Billy.
I know Kevin Durick, I saw him in there.
Also, check out our long form videos. We have a long form video dropping Sunday morning at 6 o'clock. We've got a lot of cool shorts to check out. Our eagle short is one of my favorite carvings. I'm surprised that the eagle short didn't get viewed as many as some of the other stuff. But that eagle was inspired by Skip Armstrong, and he was like this huge figure for me while going through my 20s, and I looked at him and I aspired to be like him. So that's like a Skip Armstrong design. And but check out the eagle, and you know, I put my own twist on it and stuff. But we are doing a members giveaway a week from today. It'll be Wednesday. We'll be here at 2 o'clock, and at some point during the live stream, we're going to give this away to our channel members, one of our channel members. And, it's just an appreciation for passing 10,000 subscribers. It's one of my hand carvings. I do it with chisels and gouges. And memberships are $3.99 a month. If you want to join, you'll be eligible to win this.
Canadian John, I don't know if you saw, but Baby Kisses gifted you a membership, so you will be in the drawing.
All right, that's cool. Who else got one? Shoop's
The
Workshop?
Shoops, yep, Woodshop.
So thank you so much, Baby Kisses. Always spreading kindness and love. And we appreciate you so much.
They all like your shirt.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We have so much fun with this stuff, and it's the viewers, you guys tuning in to check us out, that make it fun and make it worthwhile. So thank you so much. We appreciate every single last person that watches. And at the end of our live streams, we like to do a verse, and Casey picks out the verses and I read them. So here we go.
Real quick, Billy Munko asked, did you apprentice under anyone or just self-taught?
So I've been carving 28 years, and when I first started carving 28 years ago, my uncle was a wood carver. And it started out, I was 20 years old when I first started carving. The wood shop is about a third of the size that it is now. It was like a little, you can see the garage door down at the end. 2-car garage is basically what it was. So I've added on over the years. But my uncle, I mentored under my uncle, I'm going to say for probably 5 or 6 years before I purchased this property from him. And that was back, 30 years ago. That was kind of when chainsaw carving was just starting to ground level, starting to pick up. People would come in here off the road and literally not know what chainsaw carving is. They were just amazed that we were carving this stuff with chainsaws. So it's crazy to see how far the art has grown, and it's really taken off. There's a lot of chainsaw carvers now. But yeah, Billy, I guess to answer your question, I did apprentice for about 5 or 6 years, and just loved it. So yeah.
Curtis says he loves the carving. Woodchucker says he noticed your shirt, and he's been saying that for a long time. How long, or when did you get it made, I think he asked?
The shirt?
Yeah, you've had that for probably 5 or 6 years, I would say,
I've
at
had
least.
It quite a while. So, yep.
That's it.
And I don't think this is one I had made up. I think you can literally go on Amazon and find these, and you could order one if you want to.
It's starting to rain.
It's starting to rain. What's up with that? Gotta hurry up and read the verse. Our days on earth are like grass, like wildflowers. We bloom and die. The wind blows and we are gone, as though we had never been here. But the love of the Lord remains forever with those who fear him. His salvation extends to the children's children of those who are faithful to his covenant, of those who obey his commandments. Psalm 103, 15, verses 15 through 18. And again, thank you guys so much for being with us. We're going to leave you with that, and we'll see you a week from today.